Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So, if you follow the critical work around language and cultural preservation, you know it's tough. The challenges are huge.
Immense, yeah.
Today, we're diving into something a bit different, actually, a platform called Shupun.
Ah, yes. Shupun.
And our mission really is to explore how this digital space is trying to preserve languages and cultures that are vanishing, particularly the Wakhi language, but also how it's creating this really joyful way for families to connect with their heritage.
That joyful aspect is interesting.
It is. And our sources today, they're straight from the Shupun website itself.
We get a direct look.
Exactly. Firsthand. See what they offer, what they say they're about.
Good stuff.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is how Shupun tackles that core problem, keeping traditions alive.
Right, in our super globalized world.
Exactly. And it's not just like boring language drills. It's about showing culture as this living thing.
Something that needs nurturing.
Precisely. And the site itself, it really offers this rich tapestry of content to actually do that.
Absolutely. I mean, you land on shupun.org and bam, the purpose is right there.
Clear.
Celebrate stories, culture, and language, and they frame it as a joyful journey.
Which we mentioned.
Yeah, through languages like Wakhi, Domaki, others that are, well, as the site says, literally vanishing.
And that's the scary part, isn't it? Vanishing.
It really is. Many of these traditions, Shugni Domaki too, they're not taught in schools.
No formal setting, usually.
Right. They're passed down, heart to heart memory, often in the family.
That person-to-person transmission.
Exactly. And Shupun feels like it's giving a new channel for that, a modern one.
A digital lifeline, almost.
Yeah, for this ancient, really personal practice.
So that does raise a big question for digital preservation, doesn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, how do you actually translate something so intimate, so generational, often oral, into something interactive online? That works.
Good point. How does Shupun do it?
Well, they seem to lean into making it genuinely engaging, like their top learning pick.
Okay.
It's a Wakhi alphabet workbook and coloring book.
Oh, nice. For kids, presumably.
Exactly. Designed for young learners, it brings the letters to life, with pictures, writing practice.
So visual and interactive.
Right. And crucially, it embeds culturally rooted words right from the get-go.
So it's not just abstract letters.
Oh, no. It's foundational, sure.
Yeah.
But presented in a way that's like the opposite of rote learning.
That seems key, that distinction.
Yeah.
And beyond the ABCs, how does it broaden out?
That's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
It expands into the whole cultural ecosystem around the language.
Ecosystem, I like that.
Yeah. It's packed with resources. Things like first words, time and Wakhi, emotions, even directions.
Practical stuff.
And deeper things, too, like kinship in Wakhi.
Oh, wow. That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It shows how deeply language is tied to, social structures, community identity.
Yeah. It really highlights that principle, that language learning works best when it's wrapped up in its culture.
Deeply integrated.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't really separate them effectively.
Makes sense.
And what's really noteworthy about these offerings, these different sections, is how they weave in storytelling and the oral tradition so naturally.
Okay, how so?
Well, the platform has lots of bedtime stories in Wakhi.
Bedtime stories, nice.
Yeah. Take one called Mum Sib et Gul. It's about a little girl, Gul, helping her 92-year-old grandma.
Oh.
And the core message in that story is simple, but kind of profound.
Which is?
Helping others is always beautiful.
Huh. So it's not just learning words.
Not at all. It's cultural values, moral education, woven right into the language experience.
Makes it much more holistic, doesn't it?
Totally. Far more meaningful than just vocabulary lists.
It's impressive how they use different kinds of media for this, too.
Right.
It's not just text, right? You mentioned stories, but they also have nursery rhymes.
And a big poetry section.
Oh, really? Featuring who?
Well-known poets like Nazir Ahmad Bulbul and Pir Ali, people respected in the community.
Okay.
And then there's folk music, too. Songs that really resonate.
So it's a full multimedia experience. Pictures, sound, text.
Yeah, exactly. It goes way beyond just reading words on a screen.
Yeah.
It tries to capture the feel.
Yeah, the texture of the culture.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And if we kind of zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
It's clear that for Shupun, culture isn't just language and stories off in a corner somewhere.
No.
No, it's daily life. Everything.
Like what?
Well, The site includes traditional recipes.
Oh, brilliant. Food is always central.
Isn't it just? Things like molida, which is this sweet, crumbly dish for celebrations,
Right.
or kakmok, a kind of dumpling. These aren't just recipes. They're like culinary expressions of heritage.
They root you, don't they? Smells, tastes.
Absolutely. And they even have sections on Wakhi names and Wakhi nicknames.
Oh, nicknames, that's very specific.
It shows that personal connection, doesn't
Yeah.
it? To identity.
It really does. It feels like it's covering the whole spectrum of cultural identity.
It tries to, yeah.
You mentioned sports earlier.
Right. They cover traditional sports too, like buskashi.
Ah, the equestrian game. Like polo, but intense.
Very intense.
Yeah.
Or donkey pillow, which sounds fun.
Yeah.
And other games, like Dorak and Pitozak.
And festivals, community events.
Yep, sections on traditional festivals too, like Kitedet and Tom.
Yeah.
Often tied to seasons or, community resilience.
Wow. So it really paints a picture of the whole vibrant world that these languages describe.
That's the goal, it seems. A true reflection of community life, not just the language in isolation.
Yeah, you need the context.
And importantly, this whole effort, it isn't just about Wakhi, although that's a big focus.
Oh, right. It covers others too.
Yes, the platform, quite wisely, I think, extends its resources to other vulnerable languages and cultures as well.
Like which ones?
Rushani, Shuni, Ishkashimi, Burushaski, Shina, Balti, Kawar, Kalasha.
Okay, so quite a range.
A significant range. For instance, you can explore alphabets in Shuni or practice counting in Rushani.
That's great. So it acknowledges that many groups face similar struggles.
Exactly. It shows this broader commitment, this comprehensive approach to linguistic and cultural preservation across the region.
So if we were to kind of wrap this up, sum it all up,
Yeah.
Shupun really seems like this remarkable community-created digital space.
Community created is key, I think.
Definitely. And it makes learning or maybe reconnecting with heritage fun,
Well-
colorful, accessible.
Especially for kids and families, it seems.
Right. And you can explore it free online, which is huge.
Massive barrier removed right there.
Totally. And they even have print books, which is a nice touch. Bringing it offline too.
Bridges the digital divide a bit.
Yeah. It just feels like this vital, modern channel for these traditions, Wakhi, Shuni, Domaki, that, as we said, aren't usually in schools.
Passed down by memory.
Passed down by memory. And Shupun is giving that ancient practice a new way to live, really, to thrive in the digital age.
And what's truly compelling here, I think, is that projects like Shupun, they go beyond just like archiving stuff.
How do you mean?
Well, they help make sure the knowledge isn't just stored away, but it's understood, it's applied, it's passed on.
Kept alive.
Kept alive. And they encourage critical thinking, too, by letting us explore these really diverse cultural expressions.
Right.
It shows us that culture is this living, breathing thing.
Yeah, not static.
Not static at all. It covers everything from those lovely bedtime stories with their moral lessons.
Mm-hmm. Like helping others.
Right. To the very practical traditions like making certain foods or playing traditional sports.
The whole fabric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So preserving these languages, it's really not just about the words. It's about safeguarding entire ways of seeing the world.
Worldviews, yeah.
Unique stories, irreplaceable ways of life. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about protecting human diversity at its core.
That is a powerful thought, and it does leave me wondering, how many other unique cultures, languages, these incredible human treasures, how many are at risk right now?
Probably far too many.
Quietly fading away. And what role can these kinds of spaces, these innovative community-led digital platforms like Shupun, what role can they play?
A crucial one, potentially.
Ensuring they don't just survive, but are celebrated for the next generations. It really makes you think, doesn't it, about what home even means, what heritage means, in this digital world we're all living in.